So we're going to follow the current trend in my last video, and we're going to continue making Hu Tao guides for when she releases. So yesterday we did weapons, and thanks for the support guys, it was absolutely insane on that video. I've also learnt a few things as well about her that I didn't know, so hopefully we'll be able to make more informed and better informed guides for Hu Tao for when she releases. So in this video we're going to talk about the artifacts that would be the best for Hu Tao, and what you should try and get before she releases. So if you do enjoy this video and you want to support me out, you can always feel free to subscribe. Only 3.4% of people watch my videos are subscribed, and we're getting really close to reaching my goal of trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. If only like, at the time of making this, about like 50 of you, press that button, we'll reach the goal. And we're like 3 days left this month, but I digress. You can feel free to, you can also feel free to unsubscribe, at any point in time, you're not forced to do this, at the end of the day. So let's get right into this. So basically, one thing I'm going to say straight off the bat is, unlike most other DPS characters in Genshin Impact, you do not want to build Gladiator's Finale on Hu Tao. Now, stuff like the polearm, increases their normal attack damage by 35%. That might look enticing, however Hu Tao has one of the lowest base attacks in the game, so Gladiator's Finale might not be so good for her. I've been told that apparently when she uses her E, her attacks get infused with Pyro, so, obviously something you might want to build is a 4-piece Crimson Richer Flame set. So, the way I think about Hu Tao right now is, I think she's going to be a reaction-based DPS. We've had quite a lot of normal attack DPSs. We've had, well, Ganyu technically, yeah, Ganyu. We've had Zhao. Zhao's kind of a normal attack character, so I felt like they're going to add a reaction-based character. So, 4-piece Crimson Witcher Flames is a good option for her. Another option that a lot of people might not consider, because like it's a bit of a weird option you could pick, is you can pick 4-piece Lava Walker. Now, it sounds odd. 2-piece increases your pyro res. It's completely pointless. However, the 4-piece increases damage affected by pyro. Now, generally, you'd rather put Lava Walker or something on a Catalyst user, but again, because pyro is one of like the strongest elements in the game, you'd rather put a Crimson Witch set on her, and it's a no-brainer. Another thing that people have been thinking about as well is maybe putting on a 2-piece Noblesse and 2-piece Crimson Witch. That's also another good idea. You could also try, if you really wanted to run her as a support, you could actually do a 4-piece Noblesse, but the way that I feel like is the best way to run her would be a 4-piece Crimson Witch Flames. Obviously, we're going to have to wait to see if the Gladiator set is actually good on her when she releases, but we'll find that out. Another thing you could do, if you really want to restrict yourself to one playstyle, is you could put a 4-piece Archaic Petra on a Geo support, so like Ningguang or whatever, and then you could put a 4-piece Retracing Bolide on Hu Tao. That's going to be a weird way that you could play it, but it would be interesting to see how that would work out. Now, the thing about stats as well for Hu Tao is that, obviously, in regards to stat distribution, attack percent might not be too good for her, mainly because of her really low base attack. You're not going to be maximizing the effect of it. Unlike a character like Ganyu, where having like attack percent items is really going to buff your damage, a character like Hu Tao isn't going to get as much attack from that attack percent artifacts. Now, with something like, ignore my really weird juggling build that I'm doing right now, but if we're looking at something like the Crimson Witch set, something that you might want to consider here is you want to do crit rate or crit damage on your circlet. Now, I've got a Crimson Witch crit damage circlet, but it's not just got terrible substats on it. Ignore the substats, but for my point in this video, we're gonna do you could put a crit damage or crit rate circlet on Hu Tao, because that would be a better way to get as most damage out of her as possible. Now, obviously, you want to try and keep a 1-to-2 ratio between crit rate and crit damage. Now, the reason for this is that when you max out an artifact in Genshin Impact, crit damage is always going to be double the amount of crit rate, so you want to try and get a 1-to-2 ratio. So I'd recommend, if you got something like a crit damage spear for or crit rate spear, I recommend building the opposite for your circlet. So let's say you have Blackcliff, you probably want to get some crit rate instead of crit damage to maximize your damage potential. You could also just try and get, you could also try to just get a god roll, you know, that's like not unheard of. Like, if I go to my feathers, like I actually did get a good roll on my feather, but that's like the only good artifact I've got in this game, apart from maybe my flower for Ganyu, so I wouldn't worry too much about, you know, grinding every day to try and get a perfect, like, artifact. It's hard to come by, but it's not unheard of. You can try it, you can go for it, but to maximize your potential, but I'd recommend crit rate or crit damage on your circler. Generally speaking, flowers and feathers are the easiest to get good substats on, so I'd say, you know, don't sit there and farm all day every day, you know, trying to get like a good, like the perfect flower. But like if you got like maybe like 3 out of your 4 substats good on the flower or the feather, that you can do that. Now, obviously, next big thing is your goblet. Now, obviously, with the goblet, the easiest thing I can recommend here is that you should go for a pyro damage goblet. Now, obviously, trick that some people I don't think know is that you can sort down here and just go pyro damage goblet. So you can just find a nice pyro damage goblet. Don't sweat it if it's not in the set that you want. Like, for example, mine's Wanderer's Troop, and also substats are going to be hard to come by on such things because obviously it's hard to get good substats on goblets because goblets are a lot rarer to come by in comparison to something like attack percent, because the way that it's calculated is that you've got like a 20% chance to get anything inside of like these damage bonuses, and then you've got to roll a 1 and 7 to get the damage bonus that you desire. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the substats on these because it you know, again, it's going to be hard to get the perfect ones. And obviously on your sands, you can go whatever you want. Energy recharge would probably be okay on her. Another thing you might want to consider is elemental mastery, but you could also just go HP percent. HP percent would benefit her because that would increase her attack. So it depends on how you see fit. If you got too much HP because you got a lot of HP rolls on your artifacts, then maybe go like energy recharge or elemental mastery. However, if you need a bit more HP to maximize your damage potential, I'd recommend just going for HP percent on your sands. Now, the good thing about Hu Tao here is that basically the way you want your stats to be distributed is that if you get, or what some people consider to be like the worst artifact rolls ever, like for example my +4 flower here has HP percent, people will go, oh, bad artifact, you know, terrible, it's got HP percent. Now the thing with Hu Tao is you don't need to worry about the HP percent, you know. HP percent is going to be great to get on an artifact for her because that's going to buff her damage even more. So if you get HP percent, don't worry, it's going to be great. But that's basically all I gotta say here is just like, Hu Tao's going to be really good when she releases, in my honest opinion, because I think she's going to be doing quite a bit of damage, and also it's a good way to use your HP percent artifacts that you don't need anymore. So I'd like to know down below, what sets are you planning on running on Hu Tao, because I think she's going to be quite diverse, to be honest. Like, unlike some characters, like, for example, Child, it's just like, well, you run 4-piece Heart of Death, done, you know? I think Hu Tao will be different in that regard. I feel like she's going to be very interesting to play out, and I can't wait to try and roll for her. Unless I get to Kashing on this banner, then, you know, that's not happening anytime soon, but yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Again, comment down below, what are you planning on running on your Hu Tao, and have you got any good artifacts yet, you know? Of course, artifacts aren't the most important things. You know, we've got talent progression tomorrow, or whatever. I might make a talent video to show off the talents for her, but you know, I'd like to hear what you guys are planning. Are you planning on getting her or not? So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video, so please take care.